Hi guys, this is me again, Dennis Hagov, and our electronics store UC.sale. So yeah, if you need some wheel in Europe, so you can contact us, you can visit our website and find the best product for you. Most products we have in stock, so yeah, just write us an email or make the order or ask a question, just question via our live support. So anyway, we will contact you and we will try to help you. So, and today we have a final part, the part number 2, about the INMOTION V13. And the first part, yeah, I was filming it just in some type of a New Year joke, you know. I was trying to make some new content just to level up a little bit your mood. So so this is the decision why I was making that, and I was not able to the weather conditions in Lithuania. I was not able to ride it. So yeah, so I tried to minimize the content and just talk about the other stuff. First look and my first impression. So now in the 1st of January I was able to ride with that wheel. We had some type of a window in the weather, and the temperature on the street was +6, +7, and we have quite good weather there, and was quite dry on the street. So and not so much ice, so I was able to ride. And now I'm filming in the January 6th right now, and 5 days I was thinking, you know, how to make that content, because as if you are, you know, subscribed to my channel and you remember my my review about the Abrams 22-inch wheel last year, in the I think almost in the same time I was filming that. So all that stuff, yeah, I was talking about the Abrams and my feelings. So I really understand that I made a big impact, you know, on the market and on the sales. And yeah, many of the dealers was not happy about that content, and also manufacturer was not happy, and we had a lot of problems here. But you know, here the situation is quite difficult to me, because from the one side, you know, and when this channel was started, I was talking more about just like the reviewer, and was talking about my opinion, my feelings, and so on. So now I am talking not only just like, you know, reviewer, but also like the dealer. And here to find that balance, you know, to provide you clear message about the wheel and what you will have, you know, to provide that understanding what you will get when you buy that wheel. And from another side, no, not to blame the manufacturers too much, you know. And this is quite difficult, and I always thinking about that before I'm making the content for you. But anyway, I think that we need to be quite honest here, and my deep opinion that providing you information regarding my feelings, because I was riding in all unicycles made, you know, from all manufacturers in the past of 4 years, almost 4 years now. So I have that experience, and I can, you know, compare the wheels and so on. So, and I think that this should be the right direction to provide you that right information, I think, you know, and my right feelings, I think. So anyway, returning to the V13, and first of all I wanted to start about the riding and how many kilometers I was able to ride per day, and what final result I have, because this question is mostly question our community now talking about how many kilometers you can done with that wheel, because all we know the wheel are heavy, but the battery are not so big, and so on. So anyway, first of all, my weight with all my full winter gear, with all helmets, cameras, keys, and so on, money in my pockets, and so on. So my full weight before ride was 110 kilos, and yeah, it's been quite heavy, because all my gear with all the stuff I take with me, the overall weight was 10 kilos, so extra 10 kilos was added, so 110 kilos on that wheel. And I was charged that wheel 1 hour before ride. And interesting stuff is that wheel was charged till 100%, but after 1 hour when I power it on, the digits was 99%. So the batteries, the smart BMS balanced it, and the overall 99% from the start was, so the weather condition once more again about +6, +7 degrees on the street, and I was able to ride, not able, but I was riding the 50 kilometers per that day, and I will explain a little bit later why 50. So 50 kilometers I done, and my average speed was 29 kilometers per hour. Average speed, and maximum speed was 61 kilometers per hour. So, and I done 50 kilometers, and the result on the battery left 46%. So 50 kilometers for 46% left on the battery, and that condition with such a weight and with such a average speed and so on. So, and the very important fact here, important moment is what, as you can see now on the video, and I will just split the screens and you will see my riding. You don't need to see me in all this review, so I don't show nothing to you. But idea is what I was mostly riding on the streets with cars, and what I understand from that, because about the 70% of all my 50 kilometers I was done was riding on the streets with a car. So idea is when you're riding with the same speed, average speed about 40-45 kilometers, 50 kilometers, sometimes till 60 kilometers per hour, when the batteries are not so drying fastly, when you have a cruising speed. But situation completely changes when you are riding on the bicycle roads with people in the city center and so on. So when you need to accelerate and brake mostly. When you're accelerating and braking, and all this stuff are going all around, so the batteries keep drying very fastly. And I really saw that difference, because when I start riding and I was riding, I saw that I had the consumptions about the 1.2 kilometers per 1% of the batteries. But when I'm going riding on the bicycle roads with all this start stopping, so the batteries start drying fastly, and I had about 0.8 kilometers per 1%. So the difference is really big here, and you need to understand that. So in the comparison, just like you have a car with a big engine, 5 liters, 6 liters, when you're going in the city center, and you have huge consumption. When you're going somewhere, on the highway and with speed, cruising speed, so the consumption are really twice, maybe less, or even more here. So, and with such a heavy wheel, we have, I saw that, same situation. So it's not only about the weight and weather condition, but also of, riding style and riding types. So this is a very, very important moment. So okay, let's return to the wheel, and first of all I will talk about the ergonomics and some points I wanted to speak about. First of all about the trolley handle, and here I had the situation when I have a big ramp about 30-35, maybe 40 even degrees. So the ramp, and I push that wheel to up. And in one moment the wheel are heavy, so in one moment the handle just not handles that strongly in the place, and it is moved forward, and I almost not crashed that wheel, because in one hand I have my 360 camera, and in another hand I had the wheel, and all this ramp was quite sleepy, when the handle goes forward and the wheel starts spinning and so on. So it was a really complicated situation. I understand what this handle and these two metal parts, when this handle are hold, when it's in the open position, are not holds enough, and I also reported that to INMOTION, and I think that situation will be fixed in the future maybe. But anyway, I saw that, and I reported that also to INMOTION, that handle are not so holding strongly compare to all this heavy wheel. So this is one moment. The second one moment is what with both handles from the front and from the back. You see from the front you have in the higher position, and this is great, but I don't know why they made that handle from the back in the lower position. And the idea is when your trolley handle are closed, you are not able to put all your hand inside that handle to take it normally, and your finger just not pass because of that trolley handle are closed. You cannot pass with your finger, and you cannot take it normally, normally take it in your both hands here. And also I reported that to INMOTION, and I really understand that the back handle also need to be made in the higher position here to make that happen, but you can take that wheel, with both hands normally. And also regarding this motor kill button, the idea is that if you push it and hold it with one finger, it is not possible to take that wheel because the wheel are too heavy. So not comfortable, not possible. When you have such a heavy wheel, you're taking with your 3 fingers here, and with one finger like that, or with this one finger you're taking and pushing that button. So really not comfortable in my opinion. INMOTION can make this software update, like just push the button, one click, and the motor are off, and another one click, the motor power on here. So you power off it, take it, somewhere, put it, press button, and the motor start working here. And so regarding the pads, the power pads you have in the top position are quite good from the box, and I even think you can live with these pads. Good angle, good soft material, quite big, and you are comfortable to control the wheel, and all this position of the pads I find really comfortable. So I think you can live with that pads from the box, and if you are not so crazy extreme rider, we can just take that pads, and they performing quite good here. Regarding the lower one pads, I put them, but I cannot find them when I need them, and of course I cannot jump with that wheel because it is too heavy. And so idea is what, in my opinion, just my opinion, the lower one pads are just don't need it. You don't need them because they are useless. You cannot find them easily, somewhere between your legs and so on. Regarding the pedals, all okay with the pedals, don't have any issues, not sleepy. The spikes are performing a good job here with my boots. So and I had wet condition, and my boots was with water and mud. So anyway, the spikes do their job really great here. Don't have any issues, any problems here. But overall, with my height of 1 meter and 85 centimeters, I find that the position legs are quite close, one leg each on our leg, and when I'm staying on that wheel, I feel like I'm staying too straight here, and I wanted the legs be little bit, from the sides to have a better handling here, because sometimes and the moment is why I'm saying that, but in the 1st of January, the weather was 8 degrees, but we had quite windy day, and a lot of wind was. So when you are riding 60 kilometers per hour, 50, 60, and when the wind are pushing from the side, so idea is what I don't feel quite comfortable, staying with my height. When the wind are pushing from the side, and I feel like I'm staying, too, my legs are too close each other. Regarding the mud guards, so we have, as I was saying in the first review, we have 2 mud guards from the back, but overall we have situation that the second one with rubber mud guard are performing quite well from the back, but the idea is that all mud and water are going from the wheel are going to the second mud guard, and when it's going like from the mirror, you know, it's going back to the first one mud guard, and the idea is what the first one mud guard from another side, getting all of the mud because of the second mud guard. From the front sides, it is quite open, and also reported to INMOTION because it is, in my opinion, it is too open it wheel, and you can see on the photo all my boots was full of mud because of that open wheel. And in my opinion, we don't need such an open, you know, front part of a wheel. Just, in my opinion, we need to make the first mud guard with a little bit, you know, 5, maybe even 10 centimeters more from the front, just to keep all this mud not going directly to your boots. And the second one part regarding tire, yeah, this Knobi off-road tire we put in the fast wheel. It is same like we put, you know, Knobi Enduro, Hard Enduro, or Knobi Adventure or Motocross, you know, tire on the superbike. It is same. In my opinion, it is pointless because you will never use that wheel in the hard off-road condition because of the weight and so on. So the wheel too huge, too big, too heavy to use it, you know, to jump and so on. So it is not working like that. This wheel not built for that and so on. But we put here huge Knobi tire, and this Knobi tire made the comfort and control of that wheel on the speeds almost impossible. And you need always to fight with that tire. And the idea is when the road are change the direction, you know, from the side to side, change the angle, and you have, you know, some type of you know, holes on the roads and so on, so the tire immediately start going on from side on the side. And the idea is that the wheel are not just going, you know, just you have like the cornering, but the overall wheel can go, you know, straight. It can go on one side or can go on another side, but it's still going in the straight position here. And I find that sometimes you're going fastly on the road, and the road change the angle, then the wheel change the angle, but also going like that, you know. And so you need to compensate with all your body. The wheel are staying, you know, on 12 degrees or 10 degrees, you know, not parallel to the ground, but the tire still want to go forward. And here also changing the directions or cornering, all this stuff may really not comfortable, and all this stuff annoying, makes you annoying, you know, when you're riding a lot, you know, per day. So pointless to have that tire, and I think you need to change it from the box. And I already saw that already people who already own the V13, they're already changing the tires to the normal street tires from the scooters and so on. Here also I just wanted to talk about that, you know, I think 2 years ago I start all this, you know, movement of the tires change, and all my wheels I was testing, I was changing the tires and going with the streets motorcycle tires, and I see that in the past of that time many riders also making that upgrades, and this is really nice. But I was one of the first who start talking about that tire, but with a different tire you have the possibility of a different behave of a wheel, you know, just changing the tire. So here, as I said, my deep opinion, you need to change the tire. So regarding the performance here and the motor, and yes, I can honestly say what we have here, I think the strongest motor and overall strongest system, and this 4,500 watts motor, 4.5 kilowatts motor, yeah, really strong and performing great. And I was trying to push that wheel here in the office to, you know, to get it cut off, or get that, you know, pre-cut off, but it is almost not possible to do that. When you're braking, taking that wheel, almost not possible to, you know, to not overpower it. so really performing great. But another one side is what compared to the, for example, to the Master Pro, and if you saw my review, if you not saw my review, please, push that link, and saw my review, what I was talking regarding the Master Pro. But what idea is, what when you're going with a Master Pro, and I was saying that this is the 50 kilometers per hour wheel, when you're just start riding and you immediately have a 50, push it a little bit, you get 60, push a little bit, get 70 kilometers, and so on. So this is fast wheel, and you're comfortable to ride fastly on that wheel, and you feel safe, feel stable, and this is all that feelings, you feel normal when you're riding such a fast. So idea what V13 have different algorithms for the working, and idea is what the motor are powerful when you're pushing it, accelerating or braking, but the motor don't want go fastly, when you're just riding. And I saw the Marty from California review, he was making the test, how many miles he can ride, and he said that his speed was 40-45 kilometers per hour. Mostly, and then now I am understanding why he had that speed, because in that speed from the 40 till 45 these wheels are rides comfortable when you don't need to push it, to power push it to accelerate. And yeah, it is like it feels, maybe with in the future with a new software update, maybe with additional, like for example fancier motor, something else, they will make the different algorithms. But now what we have here for the box, the wheel, when you are riding 40-45 comfortably, and if you wish and want to push it to ride faster, you need to push it. But you push it, you go 60-70, I think, because I was able to run only 61, I will talk a little bit later about that. So when you push it, it's going, strongly, the motor providing the power and all okay. But if you're a little bit losing in that push, the wheel start reducing the speed immediately, and it reduces the speed till the 40-45 kilometers. It is like I feel that, I don't know, maybe somebody will not feel that and say, Dennis, you are wrong. But I feel that in the comparison with a Master Pro, I feel that difference. But this wheel don't want to go fast, and you need to always to fight with that wheel. So idea, when you're riding, 6-10 kilometers, it is okay, you can ride it in the power mode, you can push that and you will be safe with that speed. But if you're riding all the day long, it is not comfortable overall, to fight with that wheel all day long. And finally, you will give up, I think, and you will still start using the wheel in that conditions, and you will take the play from the wheel, not give your rules, but take the wheel rules, I think. Maybe I'm wrong, but anyway, I needed to speak about that. So overall, high power, yes, going fast, yes, but you need to fight to get that fast speed here. So it is like it works now. Okay, let's go to another one section. Another one point is the suspension. So yeah, we have here 4 shocks, 2 shocks with air inside. I was putting about 210 psi, I think, 210. Another 2 shocks have possibility to adjust the rebound here. So honestly can say here that suspension, in my opinion, not working like it should work here. And and I understand why INMOTION made and put in the box spare parts to throw out the suspension, because you can look a lot of my reviews, you can watch a lot of reviews I done before with all wheels without suspension, and maybe you can understand better what I'm talking about when I'm speaking about how suspension need to be worked. So here I clearly see that suspension completely don't work in that way like it should work in the normal motorcycle, overall in the cars and so on. So idea is when you release all preload, and both preloads are completely unscrew it, release it, you don't have preload at all. So idea is like this wheel are just bouncing like the jumping, you should jumping on the spring, metal spring, just bouncing on every moment when you hit something or going in the holes and so on, not clear road and so on. So the wheel are jumping in all the sides it jumps, depend how it's going before in that hole and jumps in immediately in that side. So not possible to go fast here, not stable and so on, not predictable and so on. So idea is when you start to screw the preload down, to put that preload to the wheel. So idea is what the preload not exactly working like it should, because you have, when you start screwing that preload, you have a situation that the wheel just cuts all these soft bumps, and you are not able anymore to operate the wheel on the small bumps. So it is not working anymore on that soft moments when you're going, and you have, for example, small moment on the road and you hit that small moment, and so you feel like the wheel are working without not suspension here. On the big bumps, yes, it is still working, but all that small moments, it is not working on that moments. And here, compared to the Sherman S, even with S22, we have a completely different situation. And in the Sherman S example, I can just adjust it, and I feel like it's working always, from all these small moments when you're just riding, you're hitting somewhere, and the wheel are, just bouncing, and you feel like suspension are working. Here, it is not working, and if you're trying to put all that preload in more of that preload, so you just rise all this not sensitive moment, and all these bumps you feel just don't feel anymore. You just cut them, and the wheel are not working in that, and that all this rising position until the suspension almost completely not working at all. So you don't able to adjust it normally like it should work in the motorcycle, meaning how the suspension are working and so on. So if you ask me if I would keep that wheel, for me I will throw out that suspension because it is not working, not predictable, and even in my opinion it is even dangerous to ride in the high speed. And here I'm going to another one part, but overall we have pedals on the higher and on the higher position from the ground. We have huge ground clearance, and the pedals are all foot placed almost on the axle center here. So idea is what the wheel are in that condition, when that combination of wheel are not stable on the high speed. You have a high pedal angle when you're going, and all these bumps are going, the wheel are jumping in all the sides, and also the wheel wants to spin from one side to another side because you are staying too high. And even with a suspension mode you have possibility to adjust the level of the pedals, but from the box they are going in the lower position and you cannot do nothing. You just can even you just can just raise them more, and you will have a more unstable wheel here, but you don't have possibility to lower them. And that's why I'm talking about what you need to know throughout the suspension. The overall wheel will be more low and you have more stability on high speed, because in my opinion this heavy huge wheel are built for the high speeds. You need to change the tire to the street tire, you need to throw out the suspension to make it lower, to make it stable on the high speed. So this is my feeling what I was riding, and this is the answer why I was riding only 61 km/h. Because when I'm reaching 60, I feel that wheel are completely unstable, and I don't want to risk. Yes, I saw the Kuji was running fastly, 90 and so on, and I believe many riders will go faster, but I don't feel safe. I just ride fastly when I feel safe, when I feel full control of the wheel. I am not that, guy who just want to try his luck, when I feeling what the wheel are bouncing in all sides, and I feel what all this instability, shakings and so on. the wheel tire are going wherever it want to go, and I cannot normally control that. So when all this combined together, I feel that I am not safe and I am not going fast. So 61 was the maximum speed I was able to reach, and even on that speed I was already unstable. So if you will go faster, I don't know what can be happen on that road and how all the suspension will work and all this height center of a wheel will work, and you will be able or not able to handle that, to keep that on the street and so on, not crash it. So I don't know. I don't want to try it, don't want to test, and don't want to sit like that and telling you, hey guys, look, I have here scratches, my bone are loose here, so yeah, not good. So I don't want to do that. So and they feel duty, just to say you that information, and you will decide. So guys, and I think the final part, just my final thoughts about all this industry, the year of 2022, and we have a January of 2023 now, and overall, what can I say about all this industry, unicycles and all this stuff. So idea is that when the new guy are coming to the USC world and asking me Dennis, I saw many of people riding unicycles, saw that in real life. I was interested in that products, I saw the videos and so on. It looks like really fun, and so on. So can you explain me, Dennis, why people are choosing that type of a transport? And my answer to the guy, who don't ride, don't know how to ride and don't know how to understand that, how to feel and how to decide he needed that or don't need that. So my answer is usually the same. So I explain like that, but I'm saying that, come on, just try to imagine you have wings. You don't have them, you cannot fly, but suddenly you have wings and you can fly, and you feel that freedom of flying, and you don't thinking what you need to manipulate with that wings. You just do that and you're flying. So here with unicycles you have the same situation. You don't need to think about unicycle, you just stay on that and you're just riding like in instincts, instinctively like that. So this is my explanation how to explain to the people who don't understand the unicycle. So they start to think, so the idea is what you don't feel that wheel, you just riding and you just get your pleasure, you have like your legs upgraded. So something like that. So returning to the industry where we have now wheels 4 kilos and so on, huge, big and heavy wheels. So this is not working anymore like that, and I feel that this is not anymore like the upgrade of your body. It is just a motorcycle with one wheel, but when you have motorcycles, and I had a lot of them, I was riding in a lot of conditions, street bikes and off-road bikes and so on, enduros, and many of them I was tested, and so on. So idea is that with a bike you feel that pleasure when you're going fast, when you get accelerated fast, braking fast, all these cornerings on the high speeds and so on. All these rules with a suspension, high power, high torque and so on, overall aerodynamics and so on. All this stuff about how the frame are built, and dimensions of the wheels and profiles. And all this, how all this stuff are working in the motorcycle world, you get that pleasure. So these wheels are grow up so high that you don't get the pleasure with riding with a huge unicycles. In my deep opinion, I give that message to all manufacturers, but stop producing that super heavy wheels with a weight more than the 40 kilograms. super heavy, super powerful, were pointless, Yes, you will be able to run 90, and so what? You have 54 kilograms, huge wheel with a huge price. You are not able to run normally on the streets with people because it is not comfortable. You feel not comfortable. You don't feel pleasure. You feel pleasure when you're going only on the street with cars, but this is not a car. This is not motorcycle. And in some moments, in some ways, it is not so stable and not so safe to do that because you cannot just bounce in the huge hole and keep it on the wheel. So in some moments you can make your cutoff and you will be sliding, somewhere in the car. This is maybe dangerous. So the position is from such position, it is not safe to ride with cars, and you will never be able to ride safely with cars with the technology we have now on the market. So all manufacturers are do just making these huge, big, expensive wheels. I think this is pointless. This is just my opinion. We are not talking about nothing here about the sales and so on, what product you should buy and else. But I was testing a lot of wheels and I was saying same about the Master Pro. Yeah, the Master Pro greatly high speed, you're running fast, but so on, but it's not comfortable, too big. And after I was riding with even V13, 50 kilometers I was done, I was tired. I was tired because I was fighting with that wheel, and when I am going on the bicycle roads, I need all road to have from the both sides to get the cornering, because the wheel are big, heavy, huge, and I have here need to have much more room, to manipulate, to make that safe. And when I see people, I need to act, just so many, before. So many meters before the person, because I understand the wheel are heavy, I need to have path for braking, to make that safe and so on. So all this stuff made that pointless in my opinion. So anyway, who need the wheel for a fast ride? Yes, the INMOTION V13, yeah, fast wheel with a mostly powerful motor on the market and greatly built, all okay here. Yeah, suspension don't work, you need to throw that out, need to change the tire, and you will have the fast wheel here. But anyway, if you need it, yes, okay, why not? But in my opinion, I need the wheel, from the wheels we had before, we have 2 years before, 25, 30, 35 kilos wheel, good built with a good suspension, battery as it is, maximum they can put it, but anyway I can charge it, recharge it, and I will go less, but will go with that comfort and that feeling. I feel free, like we're flying with with wings, not fighting with a heavy and big wheel just to get that speed and that distance. So this is just my opinion, guys, just to think about that. Anyway, thank you for watching. Denis Hagov was here, USSL shop, and soon we will have a review of Bigodi AX30 and the Extreme Bull Commander Pro on our review, and I think in 1 month. So see you in February. Have a nice day. Bye bye.